starts now.
The formula Rush once used for live recordings, a live LP after every 4 studio records. And that more or less continued through 2 different stages, which was released after the Test for Echo tour, which was also on the heels of the tragedies in Neil's life at that point. After that, things just opened up and became somewhat more freeform, with unreleased material issued anew and live recordings issued pretty much after every tour. With live material covering 40 years, it's understandably difficult to narrow things down just to one single disc. All the World's a Stage was Rush's first package of live material, issued in double gatefold format with 3 discs. The sound was great, it was raw, and it captured their newfound success of 2112. That album was just plain cool. Exit Stage Left closed the next chapter, which ended on the success of Moving Pictures. This album gives listeners a much more refined production quality, a different depth of fan experience, and featured a great collage of imagery from every album that preceded this live record. The Grace Under Pressure tour was never actually released as a live LP, but as a special bonus disc after the fact. Nevertheless, this recording is superior for having captured the band playing to near perfection. A Show of Hands was originally the 3rd chapter closing live LP that followed the Hold Your Fire tour. With great material from the synth period of Rush, A Show of Hands is great for how it offers the multiple overlays and triggers that especially were used during Neil's drum solo. Different Stages closes the chapter formula for live Rush recordings. This disc not only rocks with outstanding artwork, but displays a performance that is refined and raw at the same time. This live package also featured a special bonus disc of material from the A Farewell to Kings tour, recorded live at the Hammersmith Odeon in the UK. Different Stages features 2112 in its entirety, and the album, capturing a tour without opening acts, gives the listener a true evening with Rush. Live in Rio begins the live issue after studio album era. In Rio gives fans the first Rush in 5 years at that time, and features the set list for the Vapor Trails tour. This one is great for several reasons. The shows starting at that tour got longer, and so too did the live recordings. Live material would thenceforth be released on CD, DVD, and Blu-ray simultaneously. Bonus material and alternating set lists in different cities also became standard starting with Rio. But the best part about this album is the fans. Those Brazilians are unlike fans anywhere. They sing and chant and roar endlessly, even to instrumentals. And it's also one of the handful of recordings not from arena or outdoor concert venues, but from a sports stadium. In this case, one designed to hold upwards of 80,000 soccer fans. R30 followed the format established within Rio, and gave fans a total package of audio-visual material, including bonuses and perks. In addition to celebrating 3 decades, this recording also featured material from Feedback, a studio album in which Rush pays tribute to early influences. The Snakes and Arrows and Time Machine tours were particularly good for presenting new material in near entirety, and these live recordings are an exceptional listening experience that broadens the range of material. Time Machine also gives fans a live album within a live album, as Moving Pictures is featured song by song, chronologically, from beginning to end. The Clockwork Angels tour is notable for being Rush's only live album to feature a string section. Strings were custom arranged for much of the material on the tour, and the Clockwork Angels disc is performed in near entirety with string section accompaniment. For that reason alone, this live recording is awesome. R40 is not only Rush's final live album, but their last album ever. The tour gave fans a reverse chronological presentation of material, and notable among the performances in the material rarely or never played before, such as Natural Strings, is with the original violinist Ben Mink. Then, of course, there are dozens of official and unofficial bootlegs, ABC 1974 and Lady Gone Electric, the roughly 30-minute set list that Molson Canadian rocks for Toronto in 2003. I particularly like Preludes of the Future from Varsity Stadium in Toronto in 1979, Stainless Steel from Rockford, Illinois in 1975, which happens to be one of the only known Caress of Steel boots, Nuts and Bolts from Maple Leaf Gardens during the Counterparts Tour in 1984, 13 from St. Louis in 1980, and Universe Divided, recorded in Frankfurt, West Germany in 1979. While sound and mix quality from bootlegs can be spotty at times, each has its value for what it offers. For example, Stainless Steel is a fan recording from the audience, and the sound really isn't very good. That said, good luck finding a complete live recording of the Necromancer, so everything has its place. Every live recording is great in capturing not just the music played, but the feel of the time, the ambience of the venue and the fans, and the technology used at the time, not to mention the constantly evolving drum solo. So I'm actually not going to isolate a single live LP as the best. I don't even know if that's possible, but I will say this. Of all the performances and set lists, there's one I haven't heard live and would really love to. Back in the mid-1990s, the beer company, Molson, held contests where winners would get a ticket to see a band on what was then titled the Molson Canadian Blind Date Tour. These were small gigs with big names playing in a town or neighborhood near you. Rush was one of those names. And winning ticket fans had a chance to see the band play a reduced set list from the Test for Echo tour at a small music venue in Toronto, the Phoenix Concert Theatre, on December 18, 1996. Very cool idea, yet only one known photo, no live boots, and no video. So definitely check it out if you ever come across it, and please let me know how to hear it. Visit stephenchristiansen.ca for more episodes. This podcast is available on all streaming platforms including Anchor, TuneIn, Apple, Google, and Spotify. I'm Stephen Christiansen. Thanks for listening.
Production of Stephen Christensen. Podcast complete.